Imagine this. You pour your heart into helping someone, spend your time, energy, and resources. And in the end, you get only disappointment, ingratitude, and sometimes even blame. Sounds familiar? In ancient China, there was a saying, "If you help someone who is not ready to accept help, you harm both of you." Thousands of years ago, Chinese sages noticed an interesting pattern. There are certain types of people whose problems you not only fail to solve, but actually make worse by helping them. And today, we'll look at 3 such types. Type 1. A person who doesn't want to help themselves. The first type includes people who make no effort to solve their own problems. They complain, they suffer, they ask for help. But when it comes to taking action, they do nothing. There is an old Chinese parable about a fisherman and a beggar. Every day, the fisherman gave the beggar a fish. One day, he said, "Let me teach you how to fish so you won't depend on me anymore." The beggar refused. "Why should I learn? You give me fish every day anyway." What's the problem with someone like this? 1. Your help becomes a crutch. The person gets used to others solving their problems and loses the ability to stand on their own. 2. Such people turn into energy drainers. They swallow your time, strength, and resources, yet nothing changes in their life. 3. And most importantly, you deprive them of the chance to grow. Life's problems are lessons. When you solve problems for others, you steal their opportunity to learn something important. Chinese wisdom teaches, give a man a fish, and he will be fed for a day. Teach him to fish, and he will be fed for a lifetime. But if a person refuses to learn to fish, continuing to feed him harms both him and you. How to recognize such a person? They complain about the same problems for years. They reject any constructive advice, saying, "That won't work," or "My situation is different." They seek sympathy, not solutions. After your help, nothing changes, and a month later, they return with the same issue. What should you do? Don't solve their problems for them. Offer tools, knowledge, direction, but let them do the work. If a person isn't ready to move, it means they're not yet ready for change. And that's their path to walk. Type 2. A person who doesn't value help. The second type is people who take your help for granted. To them, your support isn't a gift, but an obligation. The ancient Chinese philosopher Laozi said, "Gratitude is the memory of the heart." A person without gratitude has a closed heart, and nothing good can take root there. Imagine this. You help someone climb out of a pit of debt. You give them money, find them a job, support them. And 6 months later, they're in debt again, saying, "Help me one more time, it's no big deal for you." No gratitude, no recognition of your effort, only demands. What's the danger? 1. Such people devalue your kindness. They begin to think you owe them help, and if you refuse, you become the bad one in their eyes. 2. Ingratitude destroys your motivation to help anyone at all. You start feeling bitterness and disappointment in people. 3. A person without gratitude never learns to appreciate what they have, which means they are doomed to constant dissatisfaction. Confucius taught that gratitude is the foundation of humanity. Someone who cannot be grateful cannot build healthy relationships with anyone. How to recognize them? They never say, "Thank you," or say it only as a formality. They describe your help to others as if they deserved it, or as if it was nothing. They quickly forget what you've done for them. They criticize the way you helped. You could have done more, better. What should you do? Chinese wisdom says, do not cast pearls before swine. Your kindness and help are valuable resources. Direct them where they will be appreciated and bear fruit. Type 3. A person who blames others for their problems. The third, and possibly most dangerous type, is people who believe all their troubles are caused by others or by circumstances, never by their own decisions. In Chinese philosophy, there is a concept called Zize self-responsibility. It is the cornerstone of personal growth. A person who does not take responsibility for their life cannot change it. Such people will always find someone to blame. The government, the boss, parents, an ex-partner, friends, the economy, the weather. Anyone but themselves. You know what's the scariest part? If you help this kind of person, sooner or later, you will become the one they blame. Yes, you understood correctly. You help them, they make another mistake, and guess who gets blamed? You. You gave the wrong advice. You helped the wrong way. You didn't warn them about the consequences. Chinese wisdom warns, save a man from a tiger, and he will blame you for the scratches. What's the problem? A person without self-responsibility lives in the mindset of a victim, and a victim cannot take charge of their life. They will always depend on outside forces, always struggle, always look for someone to save them. By helping such a person, you reinforce their victim mindset, become part of their drama, take responsibility for their life, create an unhealthy dependency. How to recognize them? Every story ends with blaming someone else. Phrases like, it's because of him, her. If it weren't for, everyone is at fault except me. They never admit their mistakes. After receiving help, if something goes wrong, they blame the one who helped. What should you do? Remember the wisdom of Confucius. The noble person demands everything of themselves. The inferior person demands everything of others. Do not rescue those who refuse to admit their role in their own problems. You cannot help someone who is convinced the problem is never within them. The only way to help is to gently but firmly point out the need to take responsibility. If the person isn't ready, step back. Otherwise, you will become the next culprit in their misfortune. So, let's sum it up. 3 types of people you should avoid helping. Those who refuse to help themselves. They turn you into a crutch. Those who don't value help. They devalue your kindness. Those who blame others. They will eventually blame you. Be wise in your kindness. Help not out of habit, but consciously. Not from guilt, but from a genuine wish to do good. And remember an ancient Chinese saying, the best help is the kind that teaches a person to no longer need help. Thank you for watching to the end. If this video was useful, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And in the comments, share. Have you met such people? How did you handle it?